Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Robert Walkner here of CoinOpTV, and this week I'm joined with Brian Bentley, who's working on the Dragon's Dogma review for the Xbox 360. Now, disclaimer, this video isn't the full review, but a little bit of a reviews impression, kind of a first glance kind of thing. Brian's had the game for, what, about 10, 12 hours so far?
Yeah, about 10, 12 hours I've been putting into it on the 360, so it's been pretty good so far.
All right, well, take it away. Give us some pros and maybe some cons of what you've seen so far with Dragon's Dogma.
Absolutely. So for those of you who may not know, it's kind of an action-adventure hack and slashy with RPG elements. So it's actually quite fun just from the fact that you're able to go out there. The fighting style itself is not real complicated, so you'll be able to quickly pick it up and be able to play. There is some depth to it, so it's not like, it's not Dynasty Warriors. You're not slamming the same button over and over again. You're, being able to look at it, and there is some strategy involved with the actual attacking, but it's not too heavy, so it's easy to get into. So that's definitely like one of the major pluses for it. As far as the cons go, there's still, sometimes Capcom just really struggles with the whole camera option. I mean, there are times where I'm fighting somebody and then I'm looking at a tree. So I'm not saying that looking at the art style is great. Those leaves are fantastic, but when I'm actually trying to hit a goblin, it's very difficult when you're looking at the leaves of a tree, or like an enemy will dive into a bush, and you're like, okay, well, I don't know where he went, so you're trying to find him. So sometimes the camera does betray you, and then one of the other things that kind of bothers me is the inventory system. So when you're low on health, you can, I open it up, it's great, I can pick an herb and, use it, and I start healing myself, but I can't actually take the herb and use it on one of my companions, one of my AI companions. We're going to talk about pawns in a second, but I can't tell them to heal. I can give them an herb and hope that they'll heal themselves, but maybe they won't. So that's kind of difficult. I kind of wish I had that ability to heal my my AI buddies. One of the things I really love about these people is this whole pawn system. So basically, they're not really human. They come from beyond in the Rift. And one of them is you'll create your own. So you'll have one that you'll actually, you'll build it from scratch. You'll give it a vocation and all these things. And then you'll go out into the Rift and you'll be able to hire two on. So you can either hire one that Capcom has, a basic AI person, or you can actually rent the pawns of other players in the game. So other people on Xbox Live that have created their own pawns, you can hire them on, and then when you take a rest, then your pawn comes back and says, oh, hey, I was hired by so-and-so, and here's some free stuff, and I got some experience. So they have a really nice asynchronous multiplayer system that is totally it's a lot of fun. There are rankings and stuff. So Faith, my pawn, was up to number 11 in the world last night. That was so it's really cool to be able to do that. The downside is that Capcom has deluded themselves into thinking that there is a strategic command structure that you can do with your three AI teammates, that there's supposed to be this super strategy, you have to pick the right people and do the right things at the right time, except the problem is your choices are either go, which I still really haven't figured out what go does, come, which they don't always do, and then help me. So those are your three choices. And when they were trying to teach me, do the tutorial for that part, I actually didn't do anything. My pawns did everything. I didn't tell them to do anything, and I passed the tutorial. So it could use a little work. I love having the AI buddies. I love having the pawns, but unfortunately, they kind of do their own thing.
Yeah, that's what I felt. So I did sort of a review gameplay of the demo that was on Xbox Live, And I actually titled my article, "This Demo Requires a Demo," because I just felt like, my pawns were just running around, doing their own thing, on themselves. Let me ask you a little bit. I'm always a stickler for fighting mechanics. A lot of people left comments on the YouTube video that I did for that gameplay, the demo, asking me why I didn't grab anybody. They were saying how much grabbing and holding people is a part of the combat. Did you find yourself grabbing anybody and doing anything with grabbing?
Okay, so the main, like the little mobs, I don't really grab them much. I mean, sometimes my AI buddies will do it, and then you're able to run up and stab them because they can't fight back, and that's okay. But I don't really grab them very much. When I usually use the grabbing are the bigger monsters. So I don't remember what was exactly in the demo, but in the very, very beginning, when you're learning what like an arisen is before you actually become yourself, you fight a chimera, and what I use the grab for is to jump on its back. So you actually will grab onto its haunches, and then you'll climb up onto it and start stabbing it from like on top of its neck. Or like right before we did this recording, I was fighting an ogre. So I'm like climbing up on the ogre's back and trying to stab it in the neck. So that's what I use the grab for. I use it to climb up on top of the giant monsters and be able to get a better chance of hitting them, dealing more damage.
That's cool. Yeah, I think that's what people were saying, because I was still on the Amalur mindset where I was like dodging and running and sort of trying to lob things at bad guys, and they're like, well, no, you got to run up and grab them and stuff. So I'll have to get more into that. Anything else you want to add? I know we sent you some goodies and stuff.
Absolutely. So Bobble Buds and Capcom got together and they created. You're able to make a little bobblehead guy. And it comes with a lot of stickers and things you can do, so you can
great camera work there.
Got a little guy here. He has a little bow and arrow because that's what I use. I'm doing the ranger kind of class. So yeah, it's a funny little guy, but it's fun.
So he's your pawn and your companion. So guys, the full review Brian's going to be working on. He's going to play through the game, find out the goods and bads, and kind of cull things together on the website. Later on the week and everything, Brian. So would you say you're having a good time, a bad time? I mean, is there anything just on the send away here?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a lot of fun. It's not really complicated, so I think there's a lot that can be a lot of fun that can be had. I'll let you know when in the full review later in the week.
All right, great, guys. Make sure you hit that like button on this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoinOpTV. Leave us comments. Let us know. I know a lot of you guys are probably interested in getting Dragon's Dogma, just maybe for the Resident Evil, early access and stuff. So that's a plus as well. So, guys, for CoinOpTV, it's been Robert and Brian. We'll see you guys next time.